Hello, this is my final assessment for my internship credit that I'm taking for this summer. What I'm going to be doing in this video is going over what my roles were and what the job was, the internship was. Then I will be expressing how this impacted my future career choice. And then finally, I'll be showing you my actual work, and we'll go over that. But let's start right away with what I was supposed to do this summer. And I mentioned what I was supposed to do this summer is because I was supposed to be doing a three-part internship, basically. I was supposed to be the broadcaster, I was supposed to be the social media manager, which you can see on the screen, and I was supposed to be the graphic designer, which kind of goes along with social media, but technically it's three different parts to this internship. And well, one didn't happen. The broadcasting didn't happen. The Spearfish Sasquatch decided not to play baseball this year. But instead of, canceling the whole internship, they were like, hey, you can stay on and be the graphic designer and social media manager. So that presented a whole bunch of different challenges, of course, to, how are we going to stay engaged with the fans during this time of no baseball? Because if there's no fans engaging, there's nobody that's going to come to the games next year. You could lose fans, and that's not good for the team, right? So you have to figure out a way to stay creative, stay active on social, and really engage with those fans so that they don't forget about you. And that was a real challenge as part of this internship. We had to find different ways to showcase the talents of the interns, and I had the luxury of doing that with graphics. So that was what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be broadcasting all 64 games that the Spearfish Sasquatch were going to play this year. And again, that didn't happen. So I will also be showing you not only what I did this summer, but what I would have done if I would have gotten that broadcasting job, as if I was actually broadcasting the game. So I had that all laid out, and I'll show you that. But that was basically it. Those were my roles. I was supposed to be active on social media, live tweet during the games, broadcast the games, and create the graphics and do whatever else I was asked to do. But for the most part, it was graphics and social media, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, there's great people working in Spearfish. The other interns were a lot of fun to talk to that were there doing this kind of the same thing I was, engaging with social media, trying to get out in the community and spread the word of that this team is still here, and having those kind of activities. So it was a lot of fun, great leadership. I learned a lot, and it also enhanced my ability to do graphics. Last year, quick side note, I also did this kind of internship with the Sioux Falls Canaries. My partner actually made all the graphics and everything. I was just an assistant broadcaster, but this year I was able to do it all myself. I took what I learned from him and really enhanced that into these graphics that I'll show you here in a second. This year, I think they're really good. They're really clean. They're sharp. They have a theme that I'll explain in a second, but it really took my skills to the next level. I really dove into Photoshop and InDesign this year, and I think I learned a lot there. I worked a little bit with Illustrator as well, and I really got more comfortable with Adobe products. So that was the biggest takeaway from this, really getting myself more comfortable and enhancing those abilities. But it also enhanced my love for the game of baseball, being at the ballpark and the office every day, getting to share my thoughts about the team and being a part of the team. I love baseball, and this just reassured me that this is exactly what I want to do. Of course, adding the broadcasting element on later is even better, but this just assured me that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So without further ado, I guess I will show you what I did this summer, and I think it's pretty good. So I'm pretty proud of myself. We'll start with the graphics, and then we'll go to the other parts of it with the other like InDesign stuff. But this stuff was all made with Adobe Photoshop. This is probably my best work. I'll explain it, and then I'll go quickly through the rest of these graphics. But so basically, I did all of this in Adobe Photoshop. This post in particular, I think, is my best post that I made all season. This was a post that was supposed to hype us up for the season, but since it was canceled, this was a post that it was just engaging with the fans, saying, hey, there's no baseball this year, but how about next year? and it got a lot of engagement. Like I said, that was the biggest challenge, was figuring out how to engage with fans and stay relevant. This graphic, I think, did that. I really like the black and white with the pop of color. I love the spearfish color. It's like that baby kind of blue, that powder blue. It looks really great, especially with black and white. So this is a bunch of different layers. Of course, black and white layer. I cut out the guy, made him pop with dynamic effects added an overlay, added the color to the background of the text, and added a smoke effect. So like I said, this was probably my best work that I did this summer. I won't spend as much time on this one as I do, or the other ones as much I do on this one, but this was great. I really enjoyed this project, and I made a couple of other ones as well, but this one was the best one I think that turned out. These next 4 graphics are game day graphics. You post these every day to engage with the fans, letting people know what time the game is, the starting lineups, what the score is, etc. So again, black and white with a pop of color. This is the game day graphic. This is the starting lineup graphic that would be posted right when I get the starting lineups for the games that would be broadcasted, but since there was none, of course, these were just templates using the players that would play on the team this season. Here's the final graphic. This would be the final score. Pretty simple as that. A share the win graphic when we win, and there's a promotion. We would use this graphic and showcase, whatever the sponsor was. So that was that. These are the graphics that I actually made that we were able to post, which was fun. This was highlighting the 2020 schedule that will be in the next graphic, getting people excited for it. Here is the actual graphic where I took all the teams and put them into the graphic to showcase the schedule, obviously. I love this graphic too. It was a lot of fun to create. It took a lot of time, but it was a lot of fun to create. And obviously, since the cancellation of the season, these games didn't happen. But this is the graphic that we posted, and it got a lot of engagement because everyone was excited. And last year, this team didn't quite have the same kind of graphic design skills I would say that I have. I'm not saying that they were bad, but people really enjoyed this graphic, and this one in particular because of how clean it is and how new and exciting it was. Going on, these are just like the ticket sales that we were able to post. It's kind of the same thing with the different things. I did interviews with the players, and this was the graphic that we were able to use. We had a partner that we had sponsor this graphic, Superior Auto Solutions. So this was kind of the same thing. We'd post these weekly with player interviews that I was able to do, and the party deck, just kind of the same thing, highlighting what we wanted to highlight to try to get people to come to the games. The next set of graphics, this is the program cover that I will be showing you in a second. The program cover, I love this. Again, done in Adobe Photoshop. Added the flames, took out the color with the jersey. Looks really clean. Here's the baseball card that I created. We were going to do a giveaway this year. So baseball card. It looks, again, very sharp. Took a lot of time. All these graphics took a lot of time, but it was definitely well worth it, and it got a lot of engagement. I guess I can't really tell you how much engagement. We have quite a few fans on Twitter. I mean, you can see this is kind of the stuff we did on Twitter. Just trying to post every day or every other day, trying to keep fans engaged with what we were doing and just hanging out and trying to keep people engaged with the team, and so they didn't forget about us. But if we go to the top, you can see we have 1,200 followers. I think we were able to get about 500 reactions and interactions with Facebook and on Twitter. Obviously not so much. You get 11 likes here, 3 likes here, and it's not as much on Twitter, especially when the games aren't actually being played, and Twitter is kind of that platform. But on Facebook, we were getting like 500 interactions with these graphics, so that's fantastic. And the baseball card there. So those are basically the best graphics that I made this summer. Of course, there were more, and another part of it was the broadcasting part of it, which would have been this. These are my game notes that I created. This is just a template, of course, because we didn't actually play any games, but you could see that I would be adding in all these stats and updates to all these players that would be going on. So just kind of scrolling through that, you can kind of see all the records and everything. This was a lot of fun to create, and this would be used for the broadcasters so they know that or they know what's going on with the game. And finally, here's the program. This took the most work, but this is what I'm probably most excited about, other than the graphic part of it, where I made this book that we would sell to fans at the game. We actually put it on our website because we weren't able to play games this year. But this would have given you the rundown of everybody on the team, the sponsorships we were able to sell, and so on and so forth. You can tell. Basically, you go to a baseball game and you'd buy this kind of thing to learn about the game and learn about the players, the schedule, and the nights that we would use and all that. So you kind of get the gist of what this is. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to make all of these graphics and stay a part of the team and be around the ballpark all summer long. Like I said, I enjoy doing this. I think I'm good at it. It definitely solidified what I want to do in the future. So again, that it was a great summer. It's not quite over yet, but it's a great summer, and we're just going to keep on doing what we've been doing, is engaging with the fans and trying to be as relevant as possible during this time. So it's been an interesting time, but again, it's been fun, and I've learned a lot about myself and learned a lot about Adobe Photoshop and the products that I'm using to make these graphics and such. So I've learned a lot through that. I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I'm able to do this. A lot of people don't have jobs right now, so I'm glad that I was able to stay on and do something for the team. All right, that's all I got. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed looking at these graphics and had as much fun looking at them as I had making them. Thank you, and that's all I got.